What is up, you guys? This is JP here, coming at you with another fitness video. Sorry for the lack of uploads last week. I didn't actually upload any videos, as you guys can tell. And I guess I'm kind of not really sorry because I was just really busy, and the main reason why is I went to two Snow the Product concerts. If you guys don't know who Snow the Product is, she's a female Mexican rapper. I really like her. She's one of my favorite artists right now. I went to two concerts of hers, one in Fresno and one in Santa Ana. It's kind of a weird reason why, but I ended up going to two of them. So I was pretty busy last week. It was really fun. If you guys haven't heard of her, definitely check out her music. And that's kind of the one fact about me too that I'm still trying to say at the beginning of my video. So if you guys know who that is, comment down below and let me know one fact about you. Today's video is going to be one kind of mistake that I see people doing for the lat pull down. And it's kind of like this is probably one of the most common mistakes I see with lat pull downs in general. Not so much with pull-ups. I'm not exactly sure why. Probably because you're pulling yourself up to the bar, obviously. I kind of have to think about that. I don't really see it. And I think with pull-ups is one, the people who do pull-ups are usually someone who's pretty strong and worked out before. Which means they know technique a little bit better. But two, it's for you to do this on pull-ups, you have to be really strong because you kind of almost have to do a muscle up, which is why it typically happens on lat pull down. So when you see, well, I'll show you the right way to do a lat pull down first. So when you're doing a lat pull down, you just want to obviously sit down. Then from here, I tell people at the top, you want to lean forward just a little bit. And then when you pull, you want to lean back. So lean forward, lean back. Just like that. If you take kind of like a good notice of my forearms, you'll notice that they're staying pretty much vertical. And my humerus is going straight out to my sides. Now the leaning, going forward and going backwards, is just to maximize range of motion. That's why I just do that. Maybe I'll go into a tutorial later on, but I'm just leaning back to, again, clear my head from the bar and really kind of get that good squeeze on my lats, again, to get a full range of motion. You want full adduction of the humerus, again, to get full range of motion. And when I lean forward, I'm getting that full, getting my arm all the way up, and you're leaning forward. You really can't get your arm all the way up if you don't lean forward, because if you're leaning back, you still have that kind of like angle with your humerus and your torso. So again, I'm just leaning forward and backward to do a full range of motion. But I said pay attention to my forearms because you've seen that they were straight up and down. But that was the right way to do it. Now, what you'll see sometimes some people do is they'll start the lift and they'll internally rotate towards the bottom of the lift or as they're pulling. So they'll start pulling and they start to internally rotate. So as you see right on the bottom, I'm internally rotating just like that. Now, you don't want to do that. Again, when you're doing a lat pull down, think about it. It's a compound movement, an upper body compound movement, more specifically an upper body pulling compound movement. It's working a lot of muscle groups, your lats, a lot of your upper back musculature, rhomboid traps, your biceps are at play as well there too. So you should be using a load that your rotator cuff cannot handle on its own. So if you're pulling and as you're pulling, internally rotating, you have to think that when you're coming back up, you're eccentrically loading your internal rotators, which are your chest and your subscapularis mainly your subscapularis, but your chest is obviously going to be a huge factor into that as well. But so you're eccentrically loading your internal rotators as you're coming out of that lat pull down, as you're coming up, if you're doing it the wrong way. And again, think about that. If you're eccentrically overloading your internal rotators, because again, the weight you're using for a lat pull down should be something your internal rotators cannot handle on its own. If I had you just do internal rotations just like this, you should not be able to do a weight with your internal rotators that you can on a lat pull down. Again, you should be able to do a lot more weight with the lat pull down than you can internally rotate. So what that tells me is you're eccentrically overloading your internal rotators if you're doing it this wrong way, which is not good. You don't want to overload your rotator cuff with as much weight as again the rest of your pulling musculature can handle. This is kind of like the equivalent of if you're doing a deadlift and you don't lock out your arms, and then when you pull the bar off the ground during the deadlift, your arm locks out and you're getting that eccentric contraction on your bicep with all the heavy weight you would of a deadlift. Now this isn't to the same degree because you're going to be deadlifting more than you're going to be doing a lat pull down, but again, you don't want to be doing it that way. So again, try to keep your forearms vertical, straight up and down for the most part. Don't internally rotate. Now I'm just going to go over 3 quick reasons why that happens. The first reason is just the person was never told the right way to do it. They weren't told a way at all, or they were told the wrong way. These types of people, you tell them the right way, they can fix it. Boom, it's that simple. The second reason is you just have weak external rotation range of motion. So you can't keep your arm back so that when you pull, you can't keep your forearm straight up and down. Because think about it, you have to have your arm kind of externally rotated to kind of keep it, your forearm straight up and down. Now, you don't have to, doesn't have to be externally rotated too far back, but there are some people with such tight, tight internal rotators, tight subscapularis, just all tight of their front upper chest area, that they have to, that when they pull, they can't keep that arm back. They pull and it naturally comes down like that. These people just need to obviously stretch all of this area, and they need to strengthen their back musculature. And they should also too not use maybe a crazy heavy load on lat pull downs. You might want to opt for a different pulling exercise, maybe like an assisted pull-up or something if they can't do regular bodyweight pull-ups, or bodyweight pull-ups if they can. Now, the third reason that someone does this is they're just pulling too far down, plain and simple. If they stop pulling too far down, they won't have that issue. Even someone like me, if I do this the right way, if I'm coming up here and I pull and I pull and I pull, this is good. But if I keep pull, if I try to keep pulling all the way down, there's going to be a point where I have to actually internally rotate to get the bar down. And what does that look like? When I have a bar up here and I'm coming up, what does that look like? For those of you who know, it looks like a muscle up. Again, and some of you may say, well, do you think muscle ups are bad? I don't think that they're bad, but they can have other implications and other issues with them. And it's funny because Jeff Cavalier from Athlete Next actually made a video on this, and I don't agree with him on everything, but this is one of the things I do agree with him on. And that's one thing he did knock about muscle ups is the way that the rotator cuff is at play, and how you're kind of churning down in that specific motion, and how it might not be the best motion for your shoulders in general. And this isn't even a muscle up. A muscle up you can do a lot differently. People are doing this, they're just doing it the wrong way. So again, back on track, that third reason someone might be doing this is they're just simply pulling too far down. So whatever reason that might be, fix it for you. If you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them down below about this exercise. Any future topics for videos that you guys might want, please leave them down below. Like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.